Harvard students have become the epitome of academic excellence for generations, and I always thought it was an overhype until curiosity made me dig deeper into their history. It wasn't the fancy study techniques nor the long years of establishment that made Harvard students special, but rather it was the Harvard students' culture that I found out has three major components. So today I'm going to be talking about the three major components that make Harvard students stand out anywhere in the world. So let's get into it. So if we're going to talk about the Harvard culture, we have to talk about before the Harvard student became the Harvard student. If you notice, getting into Harvard is not just an easy feat. It is a fight for the fittest. It has a 3% to 4% acceptance rate. And why? It's because with the Harvard Constitution, they like to select the very best. They are all about excellence. They're not just excellence in academics only. People that have good extracurriculars, people that have good academics, people that are legacy, people that have something more to add to their life more than just the academics. So you can see that they're not just excellent in just academics, but they have a reputation of excellence in every single thing that they do. Because excellence is not just an act, but excellence is a habit. That's what came from Aristotle. So if you want to understand the Harvard culture, you have to understand the culture of excellence. And that leads me on to the three major things that make up the culture of excellence of the Harvard student. So if you go to the Harvard students website, right, you see this quote from the president, and it said that we believe in the value of knowledge, the power of teaching and research, and on the ways that we do here can benefit society. So sometimes in the hustle and bustle of trying to pass and be academically excellent and pass everything right, we tend to forget that we are actually trying to gain knowledge, gain true, things that will change our mind and give us the ability to change society. So one of the major things I've noticed from the culture of Harvard is that they do not just, try their best to pass, but they truly understand the power of knowledge. They're truly in search of it, and they truly find that it has value. And if you don't value knowledge, you're not going to truly search for it. You're only going to just end up passing exams, and then you come out of school and you know absolutely nothing. But no, the Harvard students actually covet knowledge. But not just that, they truly actually value knowledge. So when I was reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he said this thing, and he said, knowledge is not power, knowledge is potential power. It only becomes power when it is transformed into a definite plan of action and directed to a definite end. So we can see that Harvard is not just known for people that are passing exams consistently, but they're known for their life-breaking and light-breaking research that has not just changed them, but has changed society at large. So they've mastered the art of actually gaining knowledge and converting it into true power that actually transforms society. But it's not just that, actually. Harvard, they have a culture that is soon being lost to this generation, that people are trying to make it look like a series, no longer insisted. But if you want to be like the Harvard students, if you want to even be better than them, this second point, you have to just imbibe it. And it's the fact that they do not just work smarter, they also work harder. So I watched this video in the Harvard student, and the person was saying, oh, people say that I had the perfect GP, he or her had it. So check out this video. So you can see that it's not just the fact that he was, smart or something like that, but this guy gave it him every single day. When a generation whereby people don't want to do the hard work, they don't want to show up every day, but if you want to be better than the average Harvard student, if you want to be like the Harvard student, you're going to need to show up every single day. Because the fact is that you will beat the person that shows up 2 hours a week if you show up 30 minutes every single day. And that's just a fact. Because what you give yourself to every single day has the power to change not just you, but change your life and change every single person around you. So the last part of the Harvard culture that I discovered was the fact that these guys, once again, like I said before, they do not just work harder, but they also work smarter by imbibing core, practical, and effective study techniques. So all the videos that I've seen about Harvard students, right, they're always talking about the study techniques, the study techniques. But it was not just study technique that made Harvard students the Harvard students. That's why I had to talk about those first 2 points. But I would be foolish if I don't say that the study techniques do also make Harvard students the Harvard students. So I studied Harvard students for hours and hours, and I watched loads of videos, and I can tell you that these 3 techniques are what makes Harvard students Harvard students. So the first one is simply the lateness system. Most likely, if you watch my videos, you don't know this one yet. So its lateness system is basically as the study technique that's like if flashcards and spaced repetition had a baby. So it's just mainly that you write down all the things that you need to know on different flashcards, and you group all the flashcards into review daily, review every 3 days, review every 1 week. So as you keep getting some of them correctly, you keep moving them into the different sections, as you continue to master them. If you get it wrong too many times, that one has to be in daily. And if you get them right more often, you can move those up to review in 1 week. But some of us, we don't really have fast cards. So that's why this next point is what the Harvard student uses to actually do a lot better in the academics, and that is active recall. So the day I finish making videos on this channel, I will never stop talking about active recall, because it has changed my life and it has continued to change the lives of students all around us. It's just simply where you're not just reading, but at some point you close your book and then you try to remember, what have I read? And rather, as much as you can, check your mistakes, check your lapses, and then you actually know what you've not really memorized and what you've truly memorized. That's why I really love bulletins. Another wonderful form of active recall. Just trying to test yourself. You read for a few minutes or a few hours and you write down some questions from what you've learned, and then try and recall what you've learned. Because when they are testing you in exam, they are not testing your ability to read, they are testing your ability to recall. So that's why active recall is so essential if you truly want to pass your exams and be the academic excellence, academic weapon, just like the Harvard students. So this last point is one that's very, very, very important. And in a generation whereby discipline is being lost, this one technique will certainly rescue us, and it's called the 3-2-1 method. The Harvard student does not just wake up and say, I don't really feel like studying today. I might do it, I might not. Let me just wait until I just feel like doing it. No, they count 3, 2, 1 at the start. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for things to feel good. They don't wait for the sun to align in a perfect angle before they decide to study. No, they wake up and they do it anyways. Why? Because they need to show up if they want to do better in their academic. That's the whole point. So, in the executive summary, right, the 3 parts of the Harvard culture are: number 1, the quest for knowledge and the value of knowledge, disciplining yourself every single day, and then working smarter and not harder through the 3 study techniques that I showed you in this video. So also, I want to shout out to, I think it's Isaac Okoro, for the lovely comments he wrote on the part 2 of the second GPA playbook. I really appreciate you writing that comment, because I did write that book from my heart. And if you actually want to learn how to imbibe the Harvard culture and truly pursue excellence, I suggest that you subscribe to this channel and also stay updated, because something about excellence is going to be coming up next day on the channel, and I know that you guys are going to love it. Let me just give you a little bit of hint. It might just be an event. So yeah, just subscribe now so that you can continue getting videos that will teach you about the culture of excellence, because it's very, very important that we imbibe this culture to actually do better and be better people. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you in another video.